y'all, Liz here, and I got your Daily Lizard today. We are still talking about the little big things from Tom Peters' awesome book. If you haven't read it, check it out. The little thing that I want to talk about today that actually is a big thing is delegation. How to delegate to somebody. Now, delegation, there's a ton of different things that you might be delegating, different things, different people, different reasons. So much goes into delegation. It can be an overwhelming thing. I wanted to talk about it today because recently we were talking about this in our mastery circle. And as companies get larger, they have to delegate more and more important things, more and more big things, but it still needs to not be a big, huge, scary thing. So I wanted to share with you just the 7 steps that I have found, and Tom has shared with us as well, and a lot of other people have shared a lot of different things that you already know about delegation. But let's sort of let's break it down into just these 7 little steps. And how to delegate. This idea that I'm going to talk about today is when you want to delegate something that is big, it's important, and it needs to be done well. You can't take a chance of it not being done well. Not the little things. The little things are much, much easier. But the big things that you have to make sure are done well, if you follow this process, you're going to have success. All right, so the first thing is make sure you have the right person. That seems so obvious, but sometimes we don't have the right person for the thing that we're trying to delegate. So make sure that you do have the right person. If you are at all confused, lost about who are the right people, how do I know what the right people are? Check out our cruise on my calendar on October 1st, where we will be talking all about DISC and making this decision so much easier. And it's not even really a decision, just an automatic, obvious thing. All right, so after that first thing of choosing that right person, the second thing is, I love this idea. It's assign the goal, not the task. Now, this is really hard, y'all. Many of you want to assign the task, do this thing this way, exactly. But when you assign a task, you remove the autonomy from the item that's being delegated, and you remove the excitement, the enthusiasm, and the trust that goes along with assigning this item to somebody and delegating it to them. When you delegate things to people, you have a chance to lift them up or push them down. If you assign the goal, you lift them up. If you assign the task, you burden them, you push them down. It's just one more thing for them to do. So assign the goal means tell them what we want on the other end. How will we define success? What does that look like? And that gets us to the third thing, which is define why. Why do we want to meet this goal? Why do we need to get there? Why are you passing it over to them? Why do you think that they can do it? Why do you trust them? Why are you ready to pass it on? Hand them all of the why after you have assigned the goal. Give them the why so that they understand it. The fourth step is agree on, don't assign, agree on timelines. What are the timelines for the success for this person? Now, remember I said agree on them, don't assign them, because if you assign something that the other person doesn't think is realistic, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen the way you want it to happen. It's going to happen how they want it to happen, period. You don't have a lot of control over that. So do it together. Agree with them what they think is a good timeline. Now, here's the trick. You can have an idea of what that timeline is in your head already. You can have an idea of what you really want. Just don't assign it. Don't be autocratic. Instead, have a conversation. How long do you think it'll take? How long do you think it'll be until you can create a good system where I won't have to check in on you, where you'll feel confident, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they think they can do it, they'll be able to do it. Even if they then fail, it will not be because you did something wrong. It will be because we got it wrong together, and they won't feel like a failure. Remember back in the day, we talked a lot about we want to build people up, see what's great about them, and not tear them down. All right, so no tearing people down. Make sure that they agree on the timeline. All right, the next thing is offer support. 5, offer support. Now, support can look like a lot of different things. Support can look like, hey, do you need any help? But support can also look like giving feedback and giving feed forward. For those of you that don't know what feed forward is, that's when you give information about the future. What could it look like? What else will we like? What would we like to see next time or next week or next year? Feed forward information is about the next step. So when you give people feedback and feed forward, you are giving them support because now they understand the parameters. Now they know where they sit. Now they know where they stand with you and with the project and what your expectations are. So give a lot of support. And then the 6th step is evaluate where they are together. So just determine when you're going to do that evaluation, when you set up that timeline, and evaluate it together. So depending on the size of the project, depending on the importance of the project, all of those things are going to determine when you are going to evaluate the success together. Some things you might have to evaluate in one day, some things not for a week, some things maybe you don't need to evaluate for 2 weeks. I would say nothing should be longer than 2 weeks, because after that amount of time, it could have been lost already. 2 weeks is about the max. But evaluate together. What do they think about how they're doing so far? What do you think? Come together, meeting of the minds, and see what you think. And then the last step is, I know, you probably already know, is check in and have repeated check-ins until you are confident that they have this, they understand it, they're doing it well, and they feel confident, they understand it, and they feel they're doing it well. Reduce your check-ins until they're no longer necessary. All right, that is it. Today's action is, what's one thing that you know you need to delegate and you haven't done it yet because you've been holding off, you've been afraid, you're just nervous. Do it. Do it today. Pick that one thing. Do it. Delegate. All right, that's it. Talk to you soon. Bye.